G'day mate and welcome back to Factorio and our little tips and tricks sessions. Trying to get these done in 10 minutes or less, but we'll see how we go. So, today I want to cover furnaces, compression a little bit, mainly modules and beacons. Because I've had a couple of people ask, why don't you just put down more buildings with more modules and forget about the beacons? Because you've got productivity modules but you don't have beacons. And we're going to hopefully cover that this episode. So, first things first. We've got creative mode installed so I can just spawn in ore and get rid of all the plate. At the same time, we have max rate calculator, which is a lovely mod. It lets me select these 70 furnaces and say, what the hell are they doing? They're sucking in, per second, 40 iron ore, copper ore rather, and outputting 40 copper plate. So, we're familiar with these. We've all built these at least once in our life, hopefully. Otherwise, you're probably watching the wrong video. And, they work. In theory, you will, and you've got to watch for the duration of the video. It'll happen eventually. It's very, very rare because it's a perfect system. It brings in 40 ore, which is the max a blue belt can carry per second, and takes out 40 plate. In theory, which is the max a blue belt can carry. The catch is, occasionally, just occasionally, one of these inserters will swing wrong. Either it'll take in ore too slowly, or these gaps from previous inserters will be too large, or it can't swing out fast enough, and we'll just get a little gap that passes through. Which means, straight away, our belts are not fully compressed. Which is, a part of the min-maxing of the game. But it's frustrating when you're trying to calculate things and going, okay, I've got a full belt, and then you find out your belt's not quite full all the time. So, we've got one doing copper, one doing iron. Nice and simple. 70 furnaces gives you a full belt's worth. Alright. Then we're coming down to modules. Now, the first thing we really need to check is this uses, I'm going to go to 1 minute, we're going to say 14-ish megawatts, because bouncing up and down a little bit with the inserter play. This one here has productivity modules. So straight away, it's 20% extra productivity for 30% less crafting speed. So it's slightly longer. At the same time, it takes in 33 ore for 40.3 plate out. So we get a slight bonus on our plate out. More importantly, we're using less ore in. Power-wise, this is the real big one. We're using 40 megawatts worth of power. So a lot more power because... Where is a productivity module? Productivity module. Plus 10 productivity, plus 10 pollution, minus 15 speed, plus 80% power. A lot of power for free stuff. And you can't ever argue with free stuff, can you? So, the other thing is, because this is more than 40 out, that's the key thing, it's 40.3. Eventually, the last two furnaces, and you can see them right here, they're backed up. Every other furnace before them has no plate sitting in it. It's just the last two. Because they can only output 0.3% of the, 0.3 times per second each. No, between the two of them. So every 1 point blah 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 blah, they can put in 0.1 plate per second. So once every 10 seconds they get one plate out, and they can obviously produce 0.4 plates per second. So yeah, they back up, and that's fine. That's fine. It means we have more than 40 coming through here, which is blatantly obvious by, the fact that these outside belts are backed up. Nah, he didn't get a chance. Oh, nah, this guy beat him to it. It's very, very rare that these guys actually output. And in fact, I think that inserter just outputted just a little, just 1 or 2 plates. Anyway, it means this is guaranteed to be compressed at all times. Cache is a lot of energy consumption. Now, remember, we're looking at 40 megawatts. This is the same build as here, also outputting, the same size build, same type of build. We've got productivity modules. We've got 30 33-ish, 33-ish ore in, because that's 20% productivity for 40, well, more than 40 played out. Except now we've added speed beacons. Now, speed beacons, as you can see, have a 480 kilowatt energy consumption. Plus, they have a plus 70% energy consumption for every item they touch. And these are referred to as an 8-8 build, so each beacon touches, each pair of beacons, so this one and this one, touch 4 machines each. In theory, if you put another row of machines up here, these beacons now touch, no, get them set up correctly, JD. So this beacon now touches 4 machines here, 4 machines here, being 8. 8-8. So this touches 8, and this has, where is it? Number of effect sources. It says 10 because it's got 2 productivity modules in it itself. So number of effect sources, 8. This is a very, very efficient way to use beacons. And like I said before, no, don't stand under the things. You can overlap them very, very easily, repeating the beacon usage. In fact, do I have it? Nope. Let's blueprint it, and we can show how we overlap. So we'd overlap it like this, which means each beacon we're going to get twice the usage out of. As it, 8x8 build. Now, again, 33, 34-ish iron ore in, 41 plate out. All these have no spare iron plate. Till we get to the last guy. Now, the last guy is outputting both on the far side of this belt and the inside of this belt. He's filling in all these little gaps. And we can see there are quite a number of gaps here, because everybody else is doing 38 iron plate, and this guy's just filling up the last little bit. Now, power usage is a really big consideration when we start adding productivity modules and speed beacons. Now, we covered this guy's using 40. This one's using 33, 34. Okay, so we've actually got less power usage for technically 41.8 compared to 40.3. So technically more iron out. Now, that's that build. That's an 8-8. The next big build is what you call a 12 beacon build. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 beacons. One machine. You can see his number of effect sources is 12. Add his productivity modules in. Brings it up to 14. Now, these guys have got a crafting speed of 9.4, being 370%. These guys have a crafting speed of 13.4. 570% speed increase. Catch is the build is actually bigger. We're still in that same situation where we're bringing in 30-ish, 33, 34 iron ore for 40 plus 41 plate out. The catch is power consumption. So we had 40 megawatts, 35 megawatts, because all these are on their own power network, and 55 megawatts. Big power usage on this one. It is because we're using machines. It's for a number of reasons, right? The biggest one is for stuff like iron plate, has a crafting speed of 3.5 seconds. In an electric furnace, which already has a crafting speed of 2. But if we were to do... So let's just get rid of you for half a second. Let's put a assembly machine down. Set the recipe to something long. Like blue circuits. We all need lots and lots of blue circuits. Give me some more modules. Now you can see the crafting speed for this one. It's crafting speed of 8. Means this one machine only puts out 1 per second. So we'd need a build that was 40 machines long. 35, 36 machines long. So 36 groups of these to get a full blue belt of blue circuits out. So this build really lends itself not for high speed craft items like plate, but for slow craft items like blue circuits. Another one that comes to mind is rocket fuel, 30 seconds. Low density structures, rocket control units. Even a lot of your uranium refining, Kovrax enrichment process, all those sorts of things, which have a really long craft time, really benefit from this build. Nowhere near it's going to be energy efficient, but the other big thing between build to build to build, which we didn't really cover, which we should cover before I call it for this one, is this one's got 140 stack inserters. Now, inserters are really bad for UPS, which is updates per second. It's what affects the game speed. This one has 168, because obviously there's more machines. This one, we've cut it down to 27. And this one, we're down to 19. So it's 19 stack inserters, and the reason we've got an odd number is this is outputting again to both sides. This one does a lot better job of not backing up. This at 36. With the last one brings us up to 41. One of these does 4.5 by itself. That's pretty fast. So it's less inserters. And inserters, and technically it's less furnaces as well. It's less calculations the game has to do for a catch of energy consumption. Energy consumption is, what's that? An extra 2-3 solar blueprints, which the bots put down automatically without you having to do anything. So, for really big bases, this is the design that tends to get used more often. This is a much easier design, and it's much more... It's sometimes easier to get belts in and out of this one than it is with this one. It all depends. This one, you're really limited to underground belts only. This one, you can use some straight belts. You can do some weaving. You've got lots more options. And of course, if you're really, really bored and you just want a high power usage with lots of machines, you just whack down productivity modules as they are. So, that's it for this quick little one. I do love having fully compressed belts in my base, and... I also love the advantage that speed beacons and modules give us, just to have more output for less input. It's one of the beautiful parts of Factorio. So, I'm going to call it here for this one. If you liked the video, if you learnt something along the way, hit the like button. If you'd like to stay tuned, watch the next tutorial that comes out, which will probably be on oil, because I've had a lot of questions about oil. By all means, click the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!